Quick heads up, we're giving away $100 to one subscriber. To join, just subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and watch this video till the end. We'll randomly choose one winner. We're doing one giveaway every month, so don't miss out. Now let's dive into today's game-changing story. In a move that has sent shockwaves through global diplomatic circles, India and China have just announced a surprising new deal that could redefine their complex relationship. What could drive these two historically rival powers, each with its own ambitions and long-standing grievances, to form an alliance now? As questions multiply about the motivations behind this unprecedented partnership, the world watches with bated breath. Is it a strategic maneuver aimed at countering global pressures, or a genuine effort to foster cooperation in the face of emerging challenges like climate change and economic instability? This unexpected agreement promises to tackle critical issues such as trade disputes and border conflicts that have long constrained progress between the two nations. With both countries standing at a crossroads, the consequences of their collaboration extend well beyond their borders. Could this be the beginning of a new era of stability in Asia, or will it serve as a facade that masks deeper tensions? As the geopolitical landscape shifts, the consequences of this deal may reverberate across international alliances and influence global power dynamics for years to come. Number 1. A historic shift. India and China's surprising new alliance. India and China, two of Asia's largest economies and longtime rivals, are unexpectedly moving toward an alliance. As geopolitical dynamics evolve, both nations recognize the potential advantages of cooperation over conflict. The primary driver of this new alliance is economic cooperation. With massive populations and growing middle classes, both countries understand the tremendous potential for increased trade and investment. During a recent summit, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi stated, "Together, we can create a market that benefits both our countries and the wider region." The focus remains on building a sustainable economic framework that can withstand global uncertainties. Climate change and environmental initiatives constitute another crucial factor. China's commitment to reducing carbon emissions complements India's ambitious renewable energy goals. In a joint statement, Chinese President Xi Jinping emphasized that sustainable development is not merely an objective, but essential to our collective survival. By combining their resources and technological capabilities, both countries can lead Asia's fight against climate change. Furthermore, external pressures are reshaping the geopolitical landscape. The United States' increasingly assertive posture in Asia has prompted both nations to reassess their positions. Through strategic partnership, India and China can counterbalance foreign interventions and enhance their regional influence. Number 2. Modi's vision. Dialogue over discord. Narendra Modi's emphasis on communication over conflict has consistently defined his tenure as India's Prime Minister, reflecting his vision of a unified and forward-thinking nation. This approach is founded on the principle that productive discourse can heal divisions, foster understanding, and cultivate a collaborative spirit among the country's diverse communities. Modi's efforts to encourage dialogue are evident in various programs designed to improve communication between the public and government. He has championed forums where citizens can voice concerns, exchange ideas, and engage in conversations about national priorities and governance. By addressing a wide range of social issues and speaking directly to the nation, Modi not only promotes inclusivity, but strengthens the bond between the governed and government. The Prime Minister has also sought to include broader political factions and stakeholders in this conversation, particularly during pivotal moments like legislative changes or national crises. His administration has frequently attempted to bring opposition leaders and civil society organizations into discussions. This commitment to open communication aims to reduce the animosity that often accompanies political disagreements and promotes a more collaborative style of governance. "We seek dialogue, not discord," Modi emphasized during recent bilateral talks with President Xi. "Our nation's futures are intertwined, and only through honest conversation can we build lasting peace." Number 3. Global titans. India and China's growing economic dominance. As the 21st century progresses, China and India are emerging as two of the most influential nations in the global economy. Both countries' explosive growth is shifting economic power from the west to the east. In recent years, China has solidified its position as the world's second-largest economy through manufacturing prowess, massive exports, and significant foreign investments. The Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, further articulates China's ambition to expand trade networks and influence across Asia, Europe, and Africa, while promoting infrastructure development in partner nations. Meanwhile, India is accelerating due to its youthful population, burgeoning technology sector, and favorable demographic patterns. As India's GDP growth rates consistently outpace those of major economies, it is increasingly recognized as a hub for innovation, particularly in information technology and digital services. The Indian government has launched initiatives like Make in India and Digital India that aim to boost domestic manufacturing and enhance digital infrastructure, positioning India as a competitive alternative to China for international businesses. Their geopolitical strategies also reveal the competitive dynamics between these two titans. Both countries vie for influence in Asia and beyond, creating tensions in areas like trade, technological advancement, and military presence. The continued growth of India and China will profoundly impact international relations, economic partnerships, and global trade dynamics. Number 4. Beyond globalization, balancing global integration and local interests. Globalization has been intensely debated in recent years, with proponents highlighting its potential to unlock international economic opportunities and critics pointing to its alleged detrimental effects on local economies and communities. The rapid integration of global markets has led to significant job losses in traditional industries, contributing to economic hardship in many regions. While globalization has promoted international trade and technological advancements, many communities, particularly those reliant on manufacturing, have felt abandoned by corporations and politicians who prioritize profits over local livelihoods. This dynamic has created cycles of economic desperation, addiction, and poverty in once thriving industrial regions. The emotional and psychological impact on individuals and families cannot be overlooked, as entire communities struggle to adapt to a changing economic landscape. The political consequences of globalization are equally significant. Disaffected voters have increasingly turned to populist politicians who promise to restore jobs and national pride. This trend serves as a wake-up call for policymakers to address the underlying causes of this discontent. The new India-China partnership acknowledges these realities, with both countries emphasizing the importance of inclusive growth that benefits all segments of society. Their joint statement highlights the need for globalization with guardrails, an approach that embraces international trade while protecting vulnerable communities and industries. Number 5. Shifting economic paradigms from labor providers to innovation leaders. The outsourcing of labor has long been a strategy employed by Western nations to reduce production costs, allowing companies to maximize profits while offering consumers cheaper goods. Initially, this approach seemed advantageous, providing access to a vast pool of inexpensive labor, particularly in countries like China and India. Surprisingly, this strategy is now producing unexpected consequences as these nations transform from suppliers of cheap labor into formidable global competitors. One of the most significant developments in this transition is the remarkable improvement in manufacturing capabilities and technological advancement in these countries. Nations that once relied on foreign capital and technical expertise are now developing innovative products that present serious challenges to Western markets. China's rapid industrial growth and investments in R&D have positioned it at the forefront of technologies including artificial intelligence, renewable energy, and telecommunications. Consequently, Chinese companies are not only competing for market share domestically, but increasingly challenging American dominance in international markets. Similarly, India has leveraged its educated workforce to become a global leader in software development, pharmaceuticals, and business process management. The country's transition from providing basic IT services to developing cutting-edge technologies has altered its position in the global value chain. This evolution has profound implications for the international economic order, as the traditional model of developed nations designing products and developing countries manufacturing them gives way to a more complex and competitive ecosystem. Number 6. Technological sovereignty, the new strategic priority. China's rapid technological ascent over the past few decades has positioned it as a global leader in numerous high-tech sectors, including artificial intelligence and telecommunications. This rise has been fueled by substantial government investment in R&D, strategic partnerships with private enterprises, and an emphasis on fostering innovation. As China's technological capabilities grow, a complex dynamic has emerged involving concerns about intellectual property protection and technological sovereignty. Historically, the United States has been wary of China's technological approach, with frequent allegations of espionage and intellectual property theft. American companies have raised concerns about the appropriation of their proprietary technologies through unfair trade practices and cyber attacks. Ironically, as China enhances its own technological capabilities, there are growing concerns within the country about potential U.S. tech retaliation. Chinese enterprises, having developed valuable innovations of their own, are now more focused on protecting their intellectual property rather than acquiring it from others. This shift has sparked initiatives to increase self-reliance in critical sectors, igniting a race for innovation and driving efforts to develop domestic technologies that are resilient to external pressures. The new India-China agreement specifically addresses technological cooperation, with both nations committing to joint research initiatives and technology transfer protocols that respect intellectual property rights. Number 7. Japan, Korea, and China, a new East Asian triangle. The East Asian region, particularly China, South Korea, and Japan, is experiencing a significant transition marked by shifting geopolitical dynamics and increasing economic interdependence. These three nations have historically navigated complex relationships characterized by competition, historical grievances, and divergent political philosophies. The emerging East Asian triangle in the 21st century offers a unique opportunity for cooperation with the potential to transform the regional security architecture and economic landscape. Economically, the integration of Japan, South Korea, and China promises substantial benefits. Together, these countries form a powerhouse of technological innovation and manufacturing capabilities. Japan's advanced technology and infrastructure, South Korea's prowess in industries such as electronics and automotive, and China's vast market and production capacity create tremendous synergistic potential. Initiatives like the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, RCEP, are crucial in facilitating trade and investment, fostering greater economic cooperation among these nations. India's new relationship with China introduces another dimension to this regional dynamic. With increasing economic ties to all three East Asian powers, India may serve as a balancing force that encourages cooperation over competition. As this historic agreement between China and India takes shape, the world is left to contemplate its far-reaching implications. Is this alliance merely a temporary arrangement masking deeper issues, or will it genuinely usher in an era of cooperation? The responses of global powers, particularly the United States and regional neighbors, will significantly influence the geopolitical landscape. As both China and India seek to expand their influence, their ability to reconcile competing interests will determine whether this partnership can withstand inevitable tensions. One critical question remains as analysts attempt to unravel the nuances of this agreement. Can China and India move beyond their long-standing rivalry to collectively build a sustainable future? The full impact of this unexpected partnership remains to be seen, but its potential to reshape global power dynamics cannot be underestimated. What is certain is that the world order is evolving, with new alliances and power centers emerging. In this shifting landscape, the India-China partnership represents not just a bilateral agreement, but a potential harbinger of a multipolar future where cooperation may prove more valuable than competition.
you.